Hey everybody, welcome into The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. This is episode 182. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burley of Burleman Gaming and Fubu87. Guys, in that clip of the game we were showing in the intro, was that former President Kennedy's head that was being like ripped off of the statue and thrown down? I think that was Kennedy's head.
Maybe.
I think so.
Maybe.
Yeah. But anyway, so how you guys doing? I mean, how was your week of gaming? And are you surviving the heat here in Japan? Yesterday was 37 degrees. Yeah, after we had the typhoon pass through the day before. So how about for you guys, Burley? How about for you out there in in Canada?
Not as warm. It's 31 today. But
31.
It's been quite warm.
Warm.
We had a nice little cooling off period, and then it's just been like we were at like 19 degrees for most days, and then it's now shot back up into the late 20s and early 30s.
Yeah. And Fubu, you guys are having some fire issues out there. Yeah. That's one of the reasons one of our other co-hosts, Leah the Hatless, could not be on with us today, so we wish her well. But how's the situation there in Madeira?
Well, they were hoping last night that things would get better, but as always, things didn't get better. The main problem is it's very, very windy, and that's making it hard for the firefighters to fight the fire. And the problem is the fire is in the mountains, and it's going for places that don't have houses. So it goes in the mountain, then reaches a village, then goes somewhere else, and it's making things terrible. And of course, with the fire, everything is hot. I just want to grab the water machine in my work, stick it in my veins so I have fresh water running inside me because it's so damn hot.
Yeah.
That's one way.
Stay hydrated in that way, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, so we got a great show for you. We're gonna be talking about a lot of the big news stories from the week of video games and game development. Of course, we're gonna be talking about Tango. Obviously, that was a big story. We're gonna be talking a little bit about development when it comes to the Assassin's Creed franchise, as well as other AAA franchises. We're going to talk about that as well. AI and development of video games. Looks like 343 Industries is going to jump in and do that. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well. Dragon Age, the Veilguard, we got the release date. So stay tuned. We're going to show the trailer that they dropped and everything and talk about it. So a lot of good stuff in this episode. So, looking forward to talking about all that stuff. But before we do that, I just want to mention, and I dropped this, I'm going to drop it one more time here. You can listen to our podcast also in audio format, and you can listen to us on free podcast services as well. But try to listen to us over on Spotify. That's our main hub now for our audio shows. So the link is below there. So go and check out our audio podcast if you are driving or on the go. So over on Spotify, the Arena Productions over on Spotify. So please check us out over there as well. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and jump into the news beat. So the first story. And of course, for all of you that are watching, please join us in the chat. We'd really like to hear from you as we discuss these topics today. So in this episode, the episode before Gamescom. So next week is going to probably be a really, really, really big episode when it comes to all the news that's coming out of Gamescom. And we're going to talk about it a little bit towards the end of the show. But anyway, Operation Rescue Tango. So Tango is rescued by Krafton. And what's interesting about this is Krafton is a Korean company. Yeah, which is saving Tango, which is a Japanese studio, Tango Gameworks. So I mean, they're being saved, and they're picking up the Hi-Fi Rush IP as well. So your guys' thoughts? I mean, Burley of Burleman Gaming, I thought this was a surprise. This just dropped at the beginning of the week. And I'm really happy for those that are still working at Tango, but I have to admit, about half of the staff had already left when Microsoft decided to cut ties with Tango, and there was speculation as to whether or not those developers would come back again. And I mentioned to you, and I think I mentioned this in a post as well, but out here in Japan, you only get one chance. In a lot of instances, there are no second chances, and most of these developers that left would never come back, and they've probably already found work in another studio by now. But Burley of Burleman Gaming, your thoughts on Krafton picking up Tango, and the second part of the question I have for you and for Fubu when we get to Fubu is, now we talked about this last week on the show about Krafton and when it came to Glenn Schofield over working on the Callisto Protocol, and he was discussing that he was verbally given the agreement that he would get 3 to 4 more months of development time on the Callisto Protocol, and then Krafton just turned around and said, no, you got to get it out by the end of December. So the second half of my question for you is, should those that are still remaining at Tango be worried about extra pressures from Krafton to get games pushed out sooner than they're ready to be released?
Yeah, so no, this at first this was a huge surprise. When I got told of this and saw this, I was like, what? I had to have a double take because it was like, oh, we're all wondering if they were coming back, but nobody knew that this was even possible. This was very shocking. Happy to see, and like you said, XFAT, over half the staff is gone.
Yeah.
Most likely they're not coming back. If they're going to come back, they're going to say, let Tango be around for 1 to 2 years under Krafton, see how stable it is. Then let's see if we want to come back. But good on them for getting the IP of Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah.
Microsoft no longer owns that and has that. That to me was really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing to worry, like you said, with the whole Callisto Protocol, Krafton is nice right now, but as soon as you start developing a project, you need to get everything in writing that, hey, if we need 3 years for Hi-Fi Rush 2, that you get this all in writing that you're given 3 years, because they did it on Callisto Protocol. They could easily, just as much, do it here with Hi-Fi Rush 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fubu87, your thoughts?
Thank God we got good news, because it feels like the last podcast is like studio closing. Thank God we have something new to talk. A studio was saved. Thank God. When I'm thinking about this, I find it weird, because when you look at Krafton with Players Unknown, that's a different type of game. They arguably had one of the best games in the world at the time when the Battle Royale genre was showing up. They were the top dogs. They didn't manage to continue with that because then Fortnite showed up and a bunch of games like that. So they have a lot of money. I'm pretty sure they have a lot of money, and it's very good that they will invest in the Tango, and especially in Wi-Fi Rush. The problem is, like you said, with the Callisto, I'm hoping they don't force things to come out, because usually when you have a business, you want profit as fast as you can. And sometimes, and we've seen in video games, when you squeeze too much and too fast, the product won't be as good. So I hope they give time for, if there's a Hi-Fi Rush 2, they give time for the game to settle, have a good story, no bugs, because that's the most important thing. So the game comes complete and you don't have to rush with patches and stuff like that. I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid they'll try to squeeze the cow to make as much money as they can as fast as they can. And about the developers, I don't think the developers will come back, because if I quit the job and I go somewhere else and the other job gets bought, I won't go back. That's me. And I think a lot of people will do like that. And I hope they get it like, let's get a fresh team. Let's try to start from the bottom. And again, give time to them to mature as programmers and game designers and storytellers, and then release the game. So they need to give some time and invest some good money to get a good game. So that's what I think.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the possibilities that we might get from a Hi-Fi Rush 2, which they're going to develop a Hi-Fi Rush 2. I mean, after the success of Hi-Fi Rush, a second game is going to be coming. So, I mean, the music offerings in the first Hi-Fi Rush were more rock, kind of rock-based type of game, music titles and all in the game. But could you imagine, or let me ask you, what types of music genres would you like to see in a Hi-Fi Rush 2? Would you like to see more hip-hop, for example? Yeah.
K-pop. Because it's
K-pop.
a Korean company.
K-pop. Krafton with K-pop, yeah. And there you go. Yeah. And Japanese, the younger Japanese, they love K-pop out here. So,
they do?
For sure.
Okay,
Oh,
nice.
yes.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
No idea. No idea about that.
Yeah.
I would like to see some K-pop, because it's not in the golden age at this moment. When Psy came out with Gangnam Style, everything started to blow up, and I started to hear some K-pop. I like to listen to Blackpink. Then there's it's called the K-pop Avengers, which is Super M. Yeah, that's the one that the best guys from each group team up and make a super group. They have some really great music. I like to listen to some K-pop. We were talking before the show about that song with Megan Thee Stallion with the Japanese rapper Mamushi. That's the name of the song. I've been listening a lot to some Asian styled music, and I would like to hear some K-pop. No Taylor Swift. Don't put Taylor Swift, please. Don't do that.
Nah. So let us know. Let us know in the comments. What do you think of Tango being acquired by Krafton, and what kind of music would you like to hear in a Hi-Fi Rush 2? Or what do you think could be the next game that might be in development for Tango? So let us know in the comments what you think of that. So good stuff. Yeah. All right, so next up, this is a story, and I did a video here on the Arena Productions on this on Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is going to be coming soon, and they had with the lead producer, they had an interview with the lead producer, Carl Onye, and he was talking about the right balance when it comes to creating a video game, particularly in the Assassin's Creed franchise. And this is from over at gamesindustry.biz, and he says, quote, "It's always a balance between time and costs." And he's mentioning like a 4-year development cycle is the right balance. But the more time you have, the more you can iterate. Yes, you can put more people on a project and do it in a shorter time, but that doesn't give you more time to iterate, because it takes time to get the feedback from your players, your team, and then see what works and what doesn't and how to improve it. So 4 years, I think, is the right balance to go from conception to production and get the feedback necessary to adapt, end quote. So, yeah, I thought this was pretty interesting. So my question to you guys is 4 years a good balance for development for an Assassin's Creed game, as well as any other AAA game that we're seeing these days being developed and released? Fubu87, I'll start with you on this one. What do you think here?
Well, this depends on a lot of things, to be honest. Because um, did you change your game engine? Because if you change your game engine, you're gonna have to build everything from the bottom. But if you're in case of let's say Final Fantasy Rebirth and the next one, they have most of the world map done, so that's gonna cut a lot of time in the production. They already have the models, and again, sorry, I'm talking about Final Fantasy. This is Assassin's Creed, but this is something that I read this week. But um, the development of the game is much faster because they already have the models, they have the structure, they already know the story because it's a remake. When it comes to Assassin's Creed, I think the worst part of the game development, because they use the same engine since, I don't know, maybe since Odyssey or Origins, they still have the same game engine. They just adapted to new consoles. I think the worst thing, because they want to keep as historically accurate, I think the worst part in the development process is to make it historically accurate. Who we're going to choose, which time period we're going to choose, which is the that our fans will like the most, and they already have the models. They just have to adapt to the design, to the culture. They have to make a new map, and they make it big maps. So it really depends on a lot of things. I think 4 years for a well balanced game without bugs, I don't think it's enough. I think you need at least 6 because you need to do a lot of testing. When the game's supposed to be done, you have an alpha phase. You need to do a lot of testing. I think you need more than 4 years. 4 years is something that if you already have content from before, and you have an example of a thing that I saw this week. I'm forgetting the name of the assassin girl in Shadows. What's the name of the girl? Aoi, something like that, right?
Assassin's Creed in
From Shadows.
Shadows.
Yeah.
Her name's Shao. Yeah.
Shao. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a part of Shao is jumping, and it is the same movement from Bayek from Mirage. It's the same thing. So they are using assets from before. That of course makes the game much faster to create because they have the asset. They just need to put a different design on it, and that makes the game faster to create. So again, 4 years depends on a lot of things. If you have assets, 4 years could be okay. If you're starting with a new engine, new world, new story, I don't think 4 years is enough because the development and the design aspect of the game is going to take a long, long time to get it right.
Burleman Gaming. What's interesting for me is, especially in the Assassin's Creed franchise, you have so much put into the historical research when it comes to these games, and they want to make the game as accurate as possible when it comes to the landscape for that time period that they're showing and they're promoting in this game. So is 4 years enough for that? What do you think?
4 years can be enough. My thing is 4 years can be enough if you are smart with your development. Like we all know they're reusing stuff from other games and what they've learned, so you're going to reuse that. That will help. 4 years is enough if you know what you're doing. You settle on your concept. You do your research ahead of time, and you don't bloat the hell out of it. Because this is something the last couple of Assassin's Creeds, Valhalla is a bloated mess.
Nah.
If you cut the development time and you realize we only have 4 years to do this, so we cannot sit around dicking around all the time. We need to really think about our missions, really think about the story, make it a good story. I'm using the word concise here, so it's not bloated, it's not long, gives you a good amount of gameplay length, and makes it so, okay, we're not doing the same thing over and over again to make this boring where people are like, okay, I've been doing this for 6 hours straight now. I'm just done.
Yeah, he also goes on to say when it comes to the aspects of the historical aspects when it comes to creating a game that looks historically accurate and all. It's like, quote, we're trying to create a game that is as authentic as possible. It's something we take pride in. And that is also a very long process. When we build a Japanese home from feudal Japan, It is very different from, say, a French medieval house or an English one. So you have to learn as artists where things go inside a feudal Japanese house. Maybe the food doesn't go there. You have to get everything you need to know and learn it, and that process is long. And he goes on to say, it is something we've always wanted to do, but we wanted to find the right time when it comes to the hardware capabilities and all. I'm sure the other teams would have liked to do it too, but we had the opportunity because we had done Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so we had the experience. But it also felt like the right moment because we had the power in terms of the hardware, but also our new version of the engine, so we could really deliver our vision. It was important for us to have things like light and shadows, which is very performance hungry, and things like dynamic weathers, end quote. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I like what he said about, the differences between like a Japanese home from like the Sengoku period, which this game is based on, as opposed to like a French house or an English house or something like that. So yeah, those little details that will take time to do. So interesting, good stuff. So I mean, yeah. So we're talking about Assassin's Creed, but what about games like, say, The Last of Us or like a GTA or something like that? I can't imagine 4 years being the right balance for a development cycle of a game that massive. I mean, I would say probably for a GTA, probably about 10 years. It's probably the right balance, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
GTA is its own. GTA is its own animal, but like other games that are smaller in scale and not going as huge, you can easily do in 4 years. Like Assassin's Creed, for a while there, was yearly, or it was either yearly, and the odd case like every 2 years. So they can do it as long as they keep focused. And I bring up Valhalla because Valhalla just they get you to the point with the main story, and then it just kind of stops, and it's like, oh, you need to go to every province in England, and then the story will start back up.
That's not going to happen here, I think. I think this game is going to be centralized in Western Japan. So, in either the Chubu or the Kansai regions of Japan. So I don't think you're going to be having to go to every single prefecture in Japan during the Warring States period. I don't think that's going to happen.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, let's hope not. Yeah. So.
And about GTA, the only reason it took 10 years to come out, like the development, is because the online was going crazy. It was making too much money for them. I'm like, let's focus on the online until they get a bit tired. And when they started the numbers decreasing, like, okay, now it's time to move forward. And that's what happened. Because if you remember, the development from GTA 4 to GTA 5 wasn't that long. Because GTA 4 people forget, but there was an online content on GTA 4, but it wasn't, I don't know if it was marketed as well, but there was one because I played it. And then the online content on GTA 5 went crazy. People went crazy for that. And it was its own beast and was making them hands over fist every single day. They were making a lot of money. And then they wanted to do the same thing with Red Dead Redemption 2, but people didn't like it as much. And they said, okay, it's not working. Let's focus now on 6. And they started doing that. But it's going to be a massive world with GTA 6. It's going to be so crazy. It's understandable it takes so long.
Oh yeah, that I can't wait to play that game. I mean, that game might take up the whole year for me. I mean, it's just like 1 or 2 games for that particular year because of GTA 6. But
everything's going to stop.
Well, before that game comes out, because they're going to let you know ahead of time, you're like, okay, here's the list of games I'm actually going to play and beat before this game, and then everything that comes out after the words, it's we'll see.
Yeah. Do you think we're gonna get any kind of trailer at opening night live coming up on the 20th?
No, I would say at the end of the year when
Game Awards.
Game Awards.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys know what I'm going to do when I know exactly the date that the game comes out. Like I'm expecting 9 months before I'm going to get my girlfriend pregnant. So the baby is born at the same time. So I have. So,
Yeah, and then you won't be able to play the game, yeah, because you're going to be helping your wife with the baby. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I might be divorced by then. I don't know.
Okay.
Well,
All
if you
right.
neglect your baby for GTA 6, I guarantee you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You out
Okay.
more.
Okay. Maybe it's not a good idea. Maybe it's not a good idea. I'll
right.
just get some holidays.
You just say hi. Sorry,
Yeah.
honey. GTA 6 comes before the baby.
All right. Speaking of development cycles, well, it looks like 343 Industries is turning to AI. AI game development takeover has begun. 343 Industries has decided to find a lead for AI when it comes to development of their games. So Berliman Gaming, what do you think? Is AI going to help particular studios, particularly say 343 Industries, to make a better game? And what do you think about the future? Is this the beginning where you're going to see an exponential amount of AI development in most of the major studios? Not just 343, but like with Activision or like with EA and everybody else. Your thoughts?
Well, they're definitely going to use this, and other studios are going to play watch because the thing is, if 343 next game ends up like Halo Infinite did, they're going to be like, yeah, let's stick away from AI.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure it will help them in some regards, help them and take less tasks, less stuff they have to, some smaller things that they would spend time on. It'll help them. But overall, I do not think this is going to really help 343 as majorly as people seem to think.
Mm-hmm.
The potential with, because 343 have problems. That one of the thing is they keep telling you we're gonna have this in our games. We learned from Halo 5, and we're gonna learn from Halo Infinite. No, you guys haven't. You've said the same damn thing twice in a row. Anything 343 tells me, I'm gonna be like, I'll believe it when I fucking see it. Because they said they were going to have this. They were going to said they were going to have that. You look on the Halo Infinite box. There's stuff that's not there, and they said they're not going to do it. So I have no faith. I have no trust in them. They're at this point. Prove to me you can actually do something.
Mm-hmm.
You can use AI to help you, help write some generic lines for the story. Help you with some generic code and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not going to help you with getting the games what you promised and getting it out and what it's going to be like what you promised.
Right.
Like whether or not, and unless the AI tells them we don't need 343's bad management, and the high up at 343 is like, you're right, I don't need these idiots, and gets rid of the management team.
Yeah. Fubu87, innovative gaming experiences.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
AI
Yeah.
is like the bad boy. And all the girls say, oh, I can change him. And then AI breaks their heart. In this case, AI is going to break their wallet. We had that example with Square Enix. This year, they said, oh, we're going to do this. And now they're having a bunch of losses and selling stuff. And 343 Industries are like, it's going to be different with us. It's going to be, I'm going to make it better. No, they're going to have problems because AI is not the way to go. AI at this moment is not the future. It needs to improve. At least it needs to be a lot more cost efficient because AI is expensive because they say, oh, we're going to save on people. No, it's going to put out content that it's not high quality because there's not a human behind it to make sure it is high quality. That is the problem. I'm not saying maybe in 10 years, AI is the greatest thing in the world and you can use it in games and everything, everywhere else on life. But at this moment, AI is not cost efficient. It's going to give you a bad product and that's going to reflect on the market that people won't want to buy the game because it's low quality, because it's not made for humans. Okay, it needs to be humans makes games for humans, not AI makes games for humans. The AI doesn't understand us like a human does.
So generative AI's use in art, like in voice acting and music. I mean, I'm wondering if we do get another Halo game, whenever that is. I mean, if the majority of it's going to be AI generated. Burley, what do you think?
No, they won't have it that much. They will have it to write some of the dialogue, because let's be honest, most of the lines in the Halo series are forgettable. You have your standouts and from lines, so they'll have it for like the generic lines of, hey, as Master Chief is running across the planet and you hear the enemies say something, and if there's a fellow Marine somewhere that Chief interacts with, they'd be like, they'll write just generic lines of, "Go Chief, go!"
Yeah, but I'm wondering though, like Steve Downes, he's been the voice of Master Chief, forever throughout all the games. But he might decide, okay, I'm going to retire. I'm not going to do another game. But he might give his approval to use for AI to be used to generate his voice. So, what do you think of that?
I don't think he would. I would think he would go and say, okay, you know what? I've done it for 20-something years being the voice, and I feel honored and all that. I have to step back. I can no longer do the voice. You know what? Get another human that can sound like me to do it. I would rather give another human, another person a job, give them their chance.
Yeah.
Instead of using
just
the
retire the character. You can always retire or kill the character, like in the Noble Sacrifice. I would rather do that if he's not, because Halo, yes, it's Master Chief, but they've already done Halos that it's not Master Chief. There's one that's like a prequel. I'm forgetting the name. I think it's Reach, right? I think it's
Reach. Was
I know there's one. Yeah,
Reach.
Yeah. And it's not Master Chief, and it worked because it's a good game. It's so good that me, a PlayStation guy, knows about that. That's how good the game is. So they can do a Halo game because the name of the character is not Halo, it's Master Chief. Halo is something different. They can grab the Halo franchise and do with a different charismatic character. They don't need to keep milking Master Chief. The guy needs to rest.
Bring back the Arbiter.
Exactly.
The Arbiter.
Yeah.
Yeah, could do that. So many things to do.
Yeah. Then again, if you watch the Paramount Plus series,
they canceled it. That was sad.
I know, man. It's like hopefully Netflix will pick it up like they did, Star Trek Prodigy and all the other, good shows that are out there. So
it has a lot of potential. It has
potential, but
it has potential. Yes.
Yeah, it has potential. But all right. So let's go ahead and move on. So next up is, of course, Dragon Age. So we're going to talk about Dragon Age now. So let me go ahead and get that going here. So Dragon Age the Veilguard. We got a release date. We got the release date, October 31st. So Burleman Gaming, it looks like Broketober is going to get even worse towards the end of the month.
Oh, yeah.
And what's interesting about this is, having Dragon Age come out right at the end of October when you've got all the other big horror titles that are going to be coming out around that time. I mean, that'll be interesting to see how it competes with those type of titles. But Dragon Age the Veilguard, and we also found out that Dragon Age the Veilguard on consoles will be $70. Which, probably more where you are there, Burley. I understand, but I'm talking about like U.S. prices here. So now most video games that are coming out now, new games, are $70 instead of $60. However, on PC, Dragon Age: The Veilguard will be $60, not $70. So,
or free if you're really good at hacking.
We're not getting into that here on our show or any of our shows or Fubu. So yeah. But anyway, Burley of Burleman Gaming, your thoughts on the release, your thoughts on the trailer, which I am going to show momentarily, and as well as the price point. Yeah, your thoughts.
Okay, I was surprised the release being Halloween. I thought we were going to go November with this, but hey, you know what? Uh, I can't wait for this. This trailer, I really like this trailer. It's bringing back stuff from the last trailer and showing you a little bit more. And this trailer does spoil a certain few characters that they have said, yes, these characters are returning. You have a character from Dragon Age 1 and Inquisition coming back. So that was cool to see. Now, them having the pricing between Steam and consoles, this surprised me. That Steam here, it's $90 on Steam for me. But
In Canada.
Yeah, in Canada.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Or 101 on PS5. I was originally, my plan is to go Steam anyways, because they said at the beginning before this that this game is Steam Deck verified on launch. So that means they've put time, they've worked with Valve, Valve has worked with them to get the product working well on the Steam Deck. So when in either October 31st or early November, the extra take, it's going to be a Steam Deck version.
Right.
Spoil
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
Because A, it's $10, it's $11 cheaper for me,
Right.
and B, I really want to see how this runs on the Steam Deck,
Right.
compared to running on like, I'll be running it on my Steam Deck and running it on my desktop with like my 2070 and seeing how the performance is on both.
Yeah. I should play it on my 4080 here. On my PC. So and see how it runs. It's probably going to run really sweet on that, but yeah.
Yeah. Halloween game coming out on Halloween. Let's hope the real horror is not how bad the game is, because I remember everyone was hyping Andromeda at the time, and it was a horrible game. I'm hoping that this game managed to keep up the hype, and because it's been more than 4 years developing this game. I don't even remember when the last game in the storyline came out, but I remember it was a long time ago.
2014, because it came out just as the new consoles were coming.
Dragon Age Inquisition, and it was Game of the Year. Game of the Year.
It was Game of the Year. It was a really good one. And I'm hoping the trailer looks beautiful. Like Burley said, it did spoil some stuff. But I was expecting that, because this game is... because you have the bad guy is one, spoilers for a 10-year-old game, but the bad guy from this game was in the Inquisition. He was one of the party members. Then you found out on the DLC that he's the big bad guy of the story. So I was expecting for characters to come back. And it has a lot of potential. 10 years, that's a lot to build up. I'm hoping for a very polished game, which I think it's important to have a very polished game. And I'm hoping that it is a Game of the Year contender, because we haven't had many this year, or at least like a big AAA game to be game contender. So I'm expecting a lot from this game, honestly, a lot. And about the price, it's something very, very normal. I find it normal here in Europe. It's going to be about 80 euros, so it's about the same thing. So that's the new prices. If you want to buy it first day, you have to pay that price. If you can wait 1 or 2 years, and you can get it for half the price.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the BioWare gear store being updated, and like there's a $150 item called Rook's Coffer, and it includes a light up lyrium dagger and Rook's deck of cards, but it doesn't come with a copy of the game. What are your thoughts on that, Burley? Yeah.
Yeah, but like all these companies are now doing this. The high cool merch, but you don't get the game. One of the annoying things with this is this game has a deluxe edition that is $10 to $20 more depending on your region, And do you know what it comes with? It's just skins. Multiple skins for each of the 3 classes. And it's like, you gotta be kidding me. So, like, I was looking at it because I am very tempted by this game. I'm just waiting to see if CD Keys gets a key so I can buy it much cheaper before coming out. I was like, okay, what do you get? Are you going to get like some DLC, some extra stuff? All it is skins. I'm like, I don't care about these skins. Yeah, some of them look cool, but it's like, I'm not spending another, because in Canada, it's another $20 before the tax to get the skins. And I'm like, you're charging $20 for more skins? No.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fubu, your thoughts on that? Yeah.
Nah, that's like if you're paying $10 or $20 more, depending on the region, I think they can give the skins, but at least give a season pass. And if the game is really good, you can make a year 2 season pass and collect more money from that. Like you can release on the first year, release just 1 DLC, and you give that for free for the people that got the deluxe edition. Then you can make a year 2, and you make a second season pass. For example, Final Fantasy 15 did that. There's like 3 different season passes to get all the content because the game went for many, many years. So I think for people that pre-order the game, let's pre-order, because when you're pre-ordering, you don't know how the game is going to be. You don't know if it's going to be good, bad. You can hate the game. You literally can play the first hour and I just hate this game. I just spent $80 on the game that I hate. People are believing in the project, and for the people believing in the project, at least give them a season pass so they can keep playing the game when the season, like the DLC, comes out.
Yeah. So this game is like coming out right around the time when Call of Duty is out. So I mean, there's so much competition that's coming, and we still don't know everything else is going to be coming in October as well. You know, you got Assassin's Creed coming out, and all as well. So yeah,
Lego Horizon, we don't know.
Lego Horizons, that's probably going to be around that time, probably November. I would think.
How
Game of the
funny
year.
would it be?
Yeah.
It's the same day as Dragon Age.
Yeah.
And Dragon Age
Halloween.
loses. That's
Well, I could.
Yeah.
You never know with those Lego games. You get it in kids' hands.
Yeah.
And people buying it for Christmas and all that.
Yeah.
could be.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a great game. I'm pretty sure. I'm confident on this one. It's going to be great.
So yeah, and the interesting thing also is October 31st, that still could fall into Game of the Year contention. I mean, it could get in there. So we shall see. Yeah, interesting stuff. So October 31st. Yeah. So Dragon Age: The Veilguard. So Burley, explain to me, what is a Veilguard?
He's the guy that guards the veil, obviously.
Yes, it's like, yeah, okay. I mean, this
thought it
game
was
has
the
changed
Founders
so
of
many
West.
times. I mean, the title of this game has changed. What was it? The Dire Wolf or something like that? Dreadwolf? Dreadwolf? Yeah.
Dreadwolf was a good name. That was a
yeah.
good name.
Yeah. So Fubu, you would have picked Dreadwolf over Veilguard. Okay.
Yeah. Cause I don't know what a Veilguard. Like Burley says, it's a guy that guards the veil. I thought it was a veil that guarded your face. I don't know what it is. It doesn't. But a
We'll find
Dreadwolf, I know
out.
what it is. I'm afraid of that. I don't want to get bit.
We'll find out.
Fubu, to help you find out, just add me on Steam, send me, buy me the game on Steam, and I will play. And
you tell me.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great, man. Great plan, man. I love it.
All right. Let's move on. We got one more news story in the weekly news beat to cover. And it's on the Nintendo side. Of course, we are a multi-platform gaming news podcast, so we talk about Xbox, we talk about PlayStation, we talk about Nintendo, we talk about PC games, we talk about handheld gaming, we talk about everything. So, Nintendo has been known forever for having family-friendly games. But it seems like now we're getting a title, an exclusive that has shockingly violent content in it. So, yeah, shockingly violent. We shall see. But Emio the Smiling Man is going to be coming exclusively to the Nintendo Switch. It's a departure from Nintendo's family-friendly games, tackling violent themes like murder, abuse, self-harm, and it's rated M for mature. And I just want to say one thing about this. Especially out here in Japan, a lot of adults, particularly men, of course, love to read violent graphic novels when it comes to manga. I mean, you can find them in most convenience stores here. And when I saw this story, when I thought about this, it's like, yeah, I mean, this would be perfect for the typical Japanese man that is really into, graphic, manga. So, but my question to you guys is, how is this going to play out when it comes to sales of this game? And does this kind of tainter Nintendo's image of being a family-friendly platform? So, Fubu, I'll start with you on this one. Fubu87, what do you think of that? Yeah.
I don't think so, because look, there's different types of games, obviously, and this is a graphic novel. Yes, you're gonna have
graphic novel adventure game. Yeah.
Graphic novel adventure game. Thank you. It's not something that you are controlling. It's not like out of my head. You remember Metal Gear Revengeance? I don't know if you remember that game. That was extremely, because I know you were fighting against cybernetic, but it was a person in there, even with the added add-ons of mechanic. But you literally can throw the guy in the air, and you go in slow motion, and you can just slice him like in 100 pieces. That is much more violent than watching a graphic of some blood or a head or whatever. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think this, at least, I don't know if it's because of I'm insensitive to that, but I don't think it's going to tarnish. First of all, it's just one game. It's just one game that there's not a history of a lot of violent games. So I don't think it's going to tarnish. If out of nowhere, I don't know if you remember a game that came out on Steam that has a lot of bad reviews, which I think it's Murder or something like that. You just literally, for no reason, you go inside of a house and you kill everyone in there, go somewhere else and kill everyone. That was a crazy. That would tarnish the Nintendo brand because it's nonsense violence. This one, it's a story. Things happen, okay, and it's not going to tarnish the name of the image of a family-friendly console because it's just one in the middle of 1,000 games. So it's going to be a product that's very, very niche, and I'm pretty sure, especially in Japan, like you said, the young adults love to read these type of things. I'm pretty sure the stores are going to be very, very careful not to sell this type of content to a younger audience. They're going to focus on that market, and they should get themselves to that market and not the kids.
Yeah, let me just read a little bit. This is from over at Game Rant. So Emio the Smiling Man Famicom Detective Club. Excuse me, Detective Club's series tasks the player with solving a crime, with the major incident always being murder. The same thing could be expected in Emio the Smiling Man here, as the story sees Utsugi Detective Agency being asked by the police to solve a murder case. The incident involves the death of a local junior high school student who was strangled to death and found with a paper bag on her head. The main suspect is believed to be connected to the local urban legend of Emio the Smiling Man, a paper bag wearing man who murders teenage girls. So the ESRB rating for Emio was released by the organization on its website, rating the game as M for mature and detailing the violent content and imagery that the visual novel will explore. Besides the murder, there are also scenes of a father hitting his children, a human corpse being hung by a tie, and a man using scissors to slice his own face. So yeah, we can talk about the Metal Gear stuff, from way back then. But I mean, these type of psychological aspects of the story, I think, is very It's very unique for a game like this to be released on the Switch and on Nintendo's platform. Burlyman Gaming, your thoughts?
This is going to corrupt the Switch. Evil. It's going to corrupt every game. Mario, Zelda. Oh, corrupt. Let's get the holy water.
Bless me, Persona. Bless me, save me.
Leah's in the chat saying there's a demo coming August 20th, right?
Yeah.
Now, this, and I know some people, because I know some people that are excited for this game. This game is what we're going to call a niche. It's going to be a niche.
Mm-hmm.
Less than 5% of the Switch install base are ever going to hear about this game.
Yeah.
This game, because it's an M rating and all that, not going to be most people won't see the marketing push for it, and they're not going to have a huge marketing campaign. It's more going to be the few people that check it out. But like, they have mature games on the Switch. You have Witcher 3 on there, albeit the worst version of the game. But you have other games like that are mature rating that have stuff on the Switch.
Yeah, exactly. The Witcher, you cut someone in half. Literally, you can do that. And I'm not saying the monster person. You can cut them in half and cut an arm and stuff like that.
Yeah. But I think we're missing the point here when it comes to the graphic nature of the actual combat in games and stuff like that. But I mean the psychological aspects of this game. I mean, this game will probably be big here in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people are used to these types of games. So I think it's going to be, and the Switch is huge out here in Japan. Obviously, it's a number one console. So I mean, hybrid console. So I think it's going to be big, but whether it's going to tarnish Nintendo's image of being a family-friendly, platform, I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, you're going to have people that play these type of games that are a niche. I would agree with Burley on that. It's kind of interesting that we get a game like this, once in a while on the Switch. So, but interested to see how well this game does. So, looking forward to seeing that. So, good stuff. So, are you guys into graphic novels?
No way.
No
way.
I still read one manga.
I remember many years ago when the Vita came out. Okay, and I had PlayStation Plus. They gave a game which was V for something, V for Virtue or whatever. I don't know what it was, but it was a graphic novel, and it was a puzzle. But you had 80% graphic novel, 20% was solving the puzzle and the mystery, and was like point and click, which I assume it's going to be something like this on this one. And I just hated it. Like, I played for like 2 hours, and this never ends. I'm reading too much. I want some action, so I just put the game to the side. I did the plat at the time, but I cheated. I saw how you solved everything. But it was a good story. I'm going to give you guys that. It was a good story, but me personally, I didn't have the patience. But again, it's a cultural thing. In Japan, like Expat said, they love that. They like that. I wouldn't. No.
It's amazing that some of these like graphic manga are even published. I mean, it's like you go into a convenience store like a 7-Eleven or a Lawson or whatever, and you just go to the manga racks and you pick up one of these big, thick, huge, books. They're graphic manga. And you just open them up and you look at some of the images in there, and it's like, God, how could, like ripping a woman's throat and stuff like that. I'm like, Jesus, man, how could they publish stuff like this, And then again, the murder rate and the country being so relatively safe, it's kind of surreal to think about sometimes. Yeah, but. Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, Fryman is right. It's Virtue's last reward. And hi, Fryman. How you doing, man? Hope everything's well.
Welcome in, Fry. Welcome on in. Yeah, and Leah,
that's
you
the
as
game.
well. So. Yep. All right. So that was the weekly news beat, and I'm sure it's going to be much bigger next week because of Gamescom, all the stuff coming out we're going to be talking about. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, next up is our new game release picks of the week. So each and every week, so we pick a game from releases.com. So you can see here in the ticker below, www.releases.com. So you can go there and check out all the games that are releasing this week for the week coming up for the week of the 19th through the 25th, as well as all of the future titles this year and beyond. So yeah, releases.com. So my pick of the week. So let's go ahead and show that. So my pick of the week. And I have to say I was kind of surprised at myself for actually picking this game, but it's very, very highly anticipated. So my pick of the week is Black Myth Wukong. Black Myth Wukong is an action RPG steeped in Chinese mythology, drawing inspiration from Journey to the West, a cornerstone of China's 4 great classical novels. Embark as the chosen one, delving into the wonders and trials that await, and unveil the concealed truths behind a storied legend of yore. In a realm of hidden wonders, each step unveils new marvels. Dive into, captivating Black Myth Wukong, coming in 3 days on August 20th. So for the Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, and PC. So yeah, another kind of a Dark Souls type of game here, and I love these type of characters that you're battling here. This is really cool. So I mean, I'm just, I can't wait to try this game and to have fun dying like a million times in this game. So what do you guys think? I'm really excited for this, and it looks beautiful too. I mean, what do you guys think? Your thoughts.
A lot of monkey business.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
No, I remember, oh my God, so many years ago when the first gameplay came out and everyone was saying, nah, man, that's fake. No way there's going to be these graphics. And then finally the game is coming out, and this game looks as it was promised a few years ago, which is something that's very rare nowadays. But this game is beautiful. And I don't want to correct you, but this is something that I read. But the developer said, like, people are saying it's a Souls-like, but the developer himself says that it's not a Souls-like.
It looks like it, though.
Yeah, it looks like it does.
Definitely.
But probably the game is going to be more action-based. It's going to be more action-based, and it won't be as hard. Because, like I said, we had this conversation a few weeks ago. I don't like Souls-like game. I like the design of this game, and if I know it's not as hard as a Dark Souls, I'm probably gonna play it. It's just a slick action game. I'm gonna play it for sure.
Burley, your thoughts?
It looks good, looks interesting, and we got earlier this week the reviews, and the game was scoring in like the 9s to 10s.
Yeah.
So it's scoring well. I will definitely keep my eye out on this game. This is not a day one for me because I have a bunch of other games in September and October that I've already paid for, and it's like, we got Outlaws at the end of the month. And it's like, because we didn't know, we just learned not too long ago that they said it's not a Souls-like, so it's like I didn't know for sure, and I was like, you know what, I will wait. I'm definitely interested in this game.
Don't risk it. Don't risk it. I know you're not a big fan of Souls-like, so don't risk it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just want to try it and have fun with it. So I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, Star Wars Outlaws. That's my game. But that's going to be a September game for me because it comes out at the very end of this month. So.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about Star Wars Outlaws when we're done with this, because I found the game so good. And I was going to talk 2 weeks ago, but we had that little break.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about Star Wars Outlaws when it comes out. Yeah. So, we're looking forward to it. So, anyway, next up, Burley, what is your game of the week? Your pick?
My pick of the week is Mika and the Witch's Mountain. Mika and the Witch's Mountain is a fantasy adventure about an inspiring witch who delivers packages to the townspeople of a small island. Explore every nook and cranny and soar through the sky with your magic broom. It's a coming-of-age journey will take us to the top of the mountain through the story of effort, friendship, and community, and will let our hearts fly free. So it is coming August 21st to Switch, PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series, and Xbox One. I love the art style for this. And
So
who doesn't
cute.
want to just go around flying on a freaking broom?
Yeah, it's there's yeah, I like this. This year is the game of flying on brooms. You had Hogwarts Legacy, now you have this one.
Yeah, it's
So,
like they need to
yeah.
put Quidditch into this game. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. You need to yeah,
So-
it's coming out on PlayStation
That's the-
Plus next month. The Quidditch game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
beautiful. I like this game. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
For sure.
Doesn't have a serious tone to it. Like just
Oh, no.
chilling. Yeah,
Yeah.
one of those days. Like
Nice,
I
just
don't want to do
chill.
anything serious. Yeah, just chill.
That's
Like,
the
go
thing about
around.
the games that Burley usually picks for his picks of the week. They're pretty chill games. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you guys saw my stream
Yeah.
last Sunday. You
Very
see what
stressful.
happens when
Yeah.
you see my chat and certain members of my chat in my community. When I'm not streaming and I don't have that stress clock, I like to just chill.
Yeah.
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 Exactly. I know how stressful it is to play Mario Kart online, and so I know all about online stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did you see the Japanese title there? Yeah. Mikato Majo no Yama.
Ah,
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Good stuff. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Witches. All right. Fubu, you are up next.
Which is
What do
be
you
crazy.
have for us? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Your pick of the week.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My pick of the week is Tactical Breach Wizards. Tactical Breach Wizards is a turn-based tactics game where you command a team of rogue wizards clad in Kevlar. Together, you'll uncover a modern conspiracy and perhaps find the most stylish way to hurl a traffic warlock out of the fourth-story window. When faced with a challenging scenario, experiment with every wild idea you can think of. There's always the option to rewind if things don't go as planned. Your strategy might work brilliantly, fail spectacularly, or mess up in a way that sparks new ideas. Either way, unlimited rewinds let you explore all possibilities in-game instead of leaving you stuck. It comes out in 5 days, only on PC, so August 22. What I like this game, do you know that those Reddit comments like, say which superpower you would love to have, and people in the comments have to put something against it or a defect? This example, you had the Necro Doctor. She can heal you, but she has to kill you first. So that's they're giving that type of thing to the character. Then there's a different wizard. He can see the path forward, but doesn't remember the past. So I'm thinking something that he makes a move forward, and if you want to rewind, it's gonna rewind you to a different area or something because he doesn't remember the past. I like this concept. When it comes to the gameplay, it's doing something. For example, triangle strategy. I think they implemented because before triangle strategy, I don't remember that. And this type of game, which is using the environment, and in the Tactical Breach Wizards, you'll have a lot of possibilities of using the environments to use different magics, to different attacks, to use different strategies. So this looks like a very, very fun game, and it is a turn-based game, a tactical RPG like the ones that I love to play.
Nice. So those were our picks of the week. So for the week of August 19th through the 25th, the releases.com. You can check out the games coming out this week and beyond. www.releases.com. So go and check it out. Yes. All right. So this week, our other co-host, Turn-Based Carl, he's not with us this week because he's got family visiting. Lucky him. So he's not doing Game Pass this week, so it falls on Burley this week. So Burley, Game Pass. So Wave 2. So yeah, what do we got? So I think Xbox is kind of staying a little quiet because they've got a lot of stuff going on at Gamescom that they might be waiting to announce that could be coming to Game Pass. Like on day one, or like just a drop, like a kind of shadow drop onto to us gamers. But anyway, what do we got with Game Pass for Wave 2 of August?
So really, for Wave 2, we really just have Core Keeper coming August 27th. And like you said, this is a very light month. I'm wondering, like, I agree with you. It's probably they're waiting for Gamescom and announce more. But we do have, as that 3 games just left Game Pass: Airborne Kingdoms, Shadow Warrior 3, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. Yeah. They all left on August 15th.
Yeah. So I imagine there's going to be some shadow drops. I just, you don't go through a big gaming conference like Gamescom and not have like a shadow drop for Game Pass. They just, you can play it. You can play it right now, or you can play it tomorrow. Something like that. Yeah. Fubu, your thoughts on Game Pass for Wave 2?
Yeah, not something that blows my mind, to be honest. I think that what they we'll talk later on the PlayStation Plus, it's much better content. But again, they might shadow drop some stuff into Game Pass. They don't want to say it now so they can steal the thunder doing Gamescom. I think that would be a very, very good tactic for Xbox. But again, this year, Xbox has been kicking PlayStation's ass, so they can take it's August, it's summertime. They're relaxing, they're on holidays. They don't need to. They're chilling. So
all right.
I understand.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and talk about PlayStation Plus. What do we got for PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium for
this
August?
Month,
yes.
So this month, it's a good month. It's actually a very good month. Compared to last month, it's weaker, but not as weak, because you can start with The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt. It's one of PlayStation's 4 best games. This is a crazy action RPG with a very concise story, good characters, and don't be afraid because it's Witcher 3, because they will give you flashbacks that complement the story from Witcher 1 and Witcher 2. You will get the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5 version. I would suggest playing the PlayStation 5 version because it has more content. There's like a section on the PS4 version that you don't use. And on the PlayStation 5, they use that area with a special mission and story, which is very nice to do. And also, if you want to spend some money, you just buy the Season Pass and you will get one of the best DLCs ever in Blood and Wine, where it finishes the story of Geralt. And you have about, I'm going to say, $200 to play on this game with DLCs. Then you have Wild Hearts. Imagine that Fortnite and Monster Hunter had a baby. It would be Wild Hearts. You have to face huge monsters, and you can build buildings to face them. And that's basically what the game is. So if you like these two types of games, you will enjoy Wild Hearts, and you can play it with other people. Actually, this month it's very, very focused on the online content and community. For example, Cult of the Lamb used to be a single-player game, but recently they did a free update that allows you to play with a co-op with other people. And the right person to talk about this game is actually Leah. So I'm hoping she's going to leave a little comment, and we'll talk about Cult of the Lamb. Then you have Ride 5. Which is a simulator of racing games. This is the Formula One version, but it's motorbikes instead of a Formula One. So it has a very high steep curve. It's not like an arcade game that you can speed up, brake, and turn left and right. No, you have to be tactical when you are playing this game. Finally, then you have Watch Dogs 2, which is it's in San Francisco. It's bad. That's good for you.
Yeah, my home city. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, your home city.
Yeah.
It is a very, very good game. It
Hmm.
had very good reviews. I remember at the time I wanted to play, but then I started playing other stuff. So this is one of
Yeah.
those games that I would definitely download. It is very, very interesting game, and I think of all the free Watch Dogs,
Yeah.
this one is the best one.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Then
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, and Marcus is a great character too. So I've played this game through and through. So yeah, it's fun to play, and there are
that's
some cameos as well. So good
Oh
stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll have to play it. I'll be honest, I never played that one. But regarding Cult of the Lamb, just I was expecting something better than best thing that happened to gaming. It is an open world, procedurally generated, so not all gameplay will be the same. You go to different areas, the dungeons, come
Right.
back to the occult, and you have your friends. Then something that I didn't agree on this month's PlayStation Plus, we are bombarded with Sword Art Online games. I believe, I think, look, I love Sword Art Online. It's one of my favorite animes. I like the concept. I just don't, I think they should have, let's say, released one or two this month, the next
Hmm.
month, one or two, to give a continuation. Because let's imagine that I only wanted PlayStation Plus to play Sword Art Online. I played this month and I'm done. I wouldn't need it anymore. But you have Sword Art Online Last Recollection, Sword Art Online Alicization Lycoris, that's hard to say, Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet, and Sword Art Online Hollow Realization. So that's four games, and I know there's one that's going to be on PlayStation Free. It's a PlayStation Free version that you can stream it and play it at the same time. It's basically an MMO. You can play it alone, and you can also play it with your friends. So, like I said earlier, this month has a lot of online content, so you can play this game with your friends. Then, a game returning to PlayStation Plus is Naruto 2 Boruto Shinobi Striker. Again, another game that you can play online where you battle in teams of four and compete against other teams online. But like I said, it's returning. Then on the VR side, something that I need, vacation simulator. I haven't had vacation in a year and a half, so since I won't be getting vacation anytime soon, I'm gonna get the PSVR. I'm just gonna go like this.
There you go.
Oh, I'm at the beach. I'm
Yeah.
gonna chill. So,
There you go.
oh, I don't need to do that. I have the sea right there. I don't need to do that. I'm good.
Yeah.
And then on the PlayStation One side, classics. Time Splitters 1, 2, and
Nice.
3.
Nice.
You can.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm not gonna play these games. You know why? Something really weird. I get. Oh no! Stop it, Pearly. There's a good reason. Stop it. No, I get motion sickness playing this game. I
Okay,
remember playing
fair.
this game when I was young.
Yeah.
No, look, only Time Splitters and Mirror's Edge. After I played a few hours, I would get like motion sickness, like
Yeah.
I just came from the sea. So I might try it, but if I feel I'm gonna get motion sickness, I won't play these games. But I know they are very, very good games, and
If
for the fans, yeah, yes, please,
if
Robert.
you love your first person shooters that are serious sci-fi but have the good silly humor, I highly recommend it. I have not played the first, but I've played two in future. Two is my favorite because there are like little hidden collectibles and stuff, and in one of them, because like you have this time device on your hand, and in one of them you get the cartridge and it's the old school game Snake, and it's
Yeah.
like instead of saving the world, Cortez, you're playing Snake on your hand on your Arwa. It is and the multiplayer was really good because like I had this on the PS2 and I had the multi-tap, and one of the things is you could make your own maps, so you could
Yeah.
sit there and just make your own maps and have everyone do custom and have all the power-ups. They're a lot of fun. I can't wait to revisit them.
Nice.
Cool.
Okay. And the last game is Sword Art Online Lost Song. It's the one that I said it's supposed to be the PlayStation 3, that
Mhm.
you can't download it, you have to stream the game and play it. So, like I mentioned, a lot of Sword Art Online games, if you like that anime, you're going to have a blast, which I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to try it. I think I'm going to have. Last month and this month, it's making my money worth because I see a lot of things that I really want to play. So I'm happy that I'm gonna have a good time with these games.
All right, great. All right. So that was PS Plus Extra and Premium for August. So now it's time to talk about our programming notes. So here on the Arena Productions, we are not only a video game and video game development news channel, we also talk about the world of entertainment and pop culture when it comes to series like Marvel, Star Trek, Star Wars, and fantasy. We've got the Lord of the Rings of Power, which is going to be starting later this month. Within another week or so, I think. Burley and I were going to be doing a preview of that on our What's on Tap show. So stay tuned for that. So and we just wrapped up House of the Dragon Season 2 as well. So you could check out all of our content and our recap and reviews related to that I've done here on the Arena Productions. And also from this week, we also have on the Marvel side the news roundup from D23. So you see Agatha there, yeah. So Catherine Hahn, she came out on stage and performed one of the songs from the new series that's coming to Disney Plus. You know, we had Anthony Mackie coming out and showing more of the new Captain America film. We had the cast of Daredevil come out on stage, and I'm so excited for that one. Coming in 2025. Yeah, looking forward to all of these shows and everything that Marvel had to offer. So you can check out my news recap of D23, which is up on the Arena Productions here. You can check that out. And on the Star Trek side, Star Trek Prodigy, I've been doing an episode a week of the latest season that dropped on Netflix for Star Trek Prodigy. So Dal's Daring Race Decision. So it's kind of like it's the title of the episode, The Fast and the Curious. So kind of a racing episode, kind of like a Star Trek take on The Fast and the Furious. So it was a cool episode. So my spoiler recap and review of that episode. So please go and check that out. So I'm trying to do one episode a week. I don't want to bundle everything together and put it into some big episode. I'm trying to do like one episode a week and keep it to within like 5 to 10 minutes for a recap of the episodes for all of you. So yeah, Star Trek Prodigy. It's a really good series. If you have Netflix, go and check it out. Yeah, so it used to be on Paramount, and then Paramount kicked it off. And then Netflix picked it up, and so it's got a great cast. You know, Kate Mulgrew, of course, who was Janeway, Captain Janeway. You know, you have the Doctor, Robert Picardo. He's on the show as well. Robert Beltran, who was also on Star Trek Discovery. So so good stuff. Yeah, really good stuff. So Star Trek Prodigy. Yeah, good stuff. So those are our programming notes for this week. And, of course, earlier in the show, some of the gaming news that we talked about, I have gaming news reactions videos up for the Assassin's Creed 4-year development cycle, as well as Tango being acquired by Krafton, and my reactions to that. So please go and check those out. Yeah. All right, so next up, let's go ahead and, speaking of Gamescom, so Gamescom is coming up, and I just wanted to cover some of the live streams that are going on for Xbox at Gamescom. Of course, on Wednesday the 21st, Diablo 4, Vessel of Hatred, Diablo Immortals. We got that coming up. Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, Atomfall, Starfield, Shattered Space. And I want to ask you guys about that. So when do you think Starfield will hit the PlayStation platform?
I'm going to say soon, because Starfield wasn't as big of a hit that Xbox and Bethesda expected. So they need to recoup some money and going on the PlayStation and maybe put some exclusive content. I don't know, maybe exclusive ship or something if you pre-order it. It's going to boost some sales. Because it's not as good as other games, but it's still a good game, and it's something different. And yeah, like me, I'm gonna give you my example. Um, I bought it on the Steam Deck because I wanted to try it out. It wasn't my cup of tea because I already explained several times I'm not a space guy, but wasn't my cup of tea. But I was curious to the point that I had to buy it and play it on the Steam Deck. So going to the PlayStation, they need to make it soon before people start losing interest again. And so my answer is soon, as soon as possible. Maybe after.
You're
Maybe that's the
not a
Shadow
space
Drop.
guy, Fubu. So
I'm
then
not.
that means you're not going to play Star Wars Outlaws then, obviously, because you're not a space guy.
Yeah, that's look. There's the world part. Maybe I'll skip the dogfight in space.
Burley
But,
of Burlyman Gaming, your thoughts. What do you think about Starfield coming to the PlayStation platform, and when do you think it will come?
I could see it coming. I think they're gonna do next year because we know Shatter Space is one of their add-on DLC content.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling they will wait till the next one gets announced and
Mm-hmm.
put it out just before that one, or just as that one is coming out the day coming out.
Mm-hmm. Age of Mythology Retold, Overwatch 2, Forza Horizon 5, and there's rumors that Forza might be coming to PlayStation soon as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as well. Dragon Ball, Sparking Zero, Dustborn, and more. So that's on Wednesday, the 21st. Thursday, the 22nd, Star Wars Outlaws. So probably going to get some new stuff on that, which I don't want to see because I've seen enough of Star Wars Outlaws. I'm ready to play it. I can't wait.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah,
World
I
of
get it, I
Warcraft,
get
World of Warcraft, The War Within, Fallout 76.
it's like 3 days before the expansion launches.
I know. Yeah. Fallout 76, Milepost Zero, Towerborn, The Elder Scrolls Online, Gold Road. So we're going to see a lot of that. Fragpunk, Microsoft Flight Simulator, 2 Point Museum, Project Birdseye, Kill Knight, The First Berserker, Kazang, Eternal Strands, Planet Coaster 2, Life is Strange, Double Exposure. I'm really excited to hear from the developers on that. So looking forward to playing that. Playing Max as an adult. So looking forward to that. So the casting of Frank Stone, Mecha Break, Little Nightmares 3. I'm excited for that as well. Date Everything and more. So that's on Thursday, August 22nd. And then Friday. And what's interesting is Jeff Keighley also announced at Opening Night Live there will be more content shown of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So I'm wondering if they're just going to show more of what they showed at Opening Night Live.
Gameplay.
Yeah, extended gameplay or something like that. So, and we're going to get more on Avowed, and Aura History Untold, Sea of Thieves, 33 Immortals, Warhammer 40,000, Space Marine 2, Metaphor, Refantasio. I'm really excited for that one. Tales of Iron 2, Squirrel with a Gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the one. That's
the
one.
game of the show right there. You got to have a squirrel. Exactly. Yeah.
That squirrel is just nuts. That's it.
Path of Exile 2, the First Descendant, Commandos, Origins, and more. So that's on Friday. So, a lot of stuff coming up, and we'll be, covering a lot of the things that drop at Gamescom on next week's podcast episode. So stay tuned for that. So and through the week as well, as they announce things, we'll be discussing them. So a lot of stuff. Any last thoughts on this lineup here for the live streams, Burley?
No, it looks like a good list of games. I'm curious because they're going to pull a game you don't expect. Like we do know they said Pokemon is going to be there for Nintendo. So which one of these days we getting Pokemon Legends EA?
Good question.
I see. Fubu, how about you? Yeah.
I'm looking. I'm looking. I want to know where that heavy exclusive from Xbox is, because it's not Indiana Jones. Might be exclusive, but it's not a heavy one. I'm thinking, where is that, like a Halo? Like maybe that's the game they could drop like a surprise, a trailer or a teaser or something. I'm
Unlikely.
missing.
Unlikely.
I know. But I'm saying it's missing.
Halo, we're
heavy
finally
game.
going to give you what we promised the last 2 games.
No. Halo, one of these years. Just wait.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get, anything on Gears either. I think they,
No.
during during the not E3, at Jeff Keighley's show, they showed that little clip. I think that's all we're going to get for another year or so. But yeah, so yeah, good stuff, man. Yeah, got a lot of great stuff coming for Gamescom. The lineup looks really stacked. Looks pretty cool. So looking forward to bringing you all the news from that. So. All right. So it's time to talk about the games that we'll be playing this coming week. Burley, what are you going to be playing or streaming on your channel? On Twitch?
The 2 main games are going to be the Division 2. I've just started up on that. Been enjoying that.
Okay.
And
Nice.
the Princess Peach game that came out earlier in the year. It is a lot of fun, and it's a variety of content.
Leah was right when she said it was a good game. She was predicting it. I remember.
Yeah.
She almost had a fight with Carl about the game. I remember that episode.
I'll save more stuff for talking about it, because once I finish the game and when both Leah and Carl are here. So that way we
sounds good.
Fun, appropriate discussion, and you and X-Pac can just be like, okay, I'm going to have our stretch break, bathroom break, get a refill.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to be like the coach behind Leah. Come on, Leah, stretch them out, go for it.
Yeah. Fubu, how about you?
I'm going to be playing. I'm going to play Persona 5 Tactica. I need to go back on that, because Leah gave me that game in February for my birthday, and I still haven't played it out. So this time I'm going to have to keep my promise and play that game and finish it, because I started it, never completed. So I'm going to focus on that, and it's a good game.
Nice. Yeah. I'm gonna play. Yeah, Wukong. Yeah, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see what it's like. Yeah, I can't wait to play that. So I'm just gonna laugh my way through it. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it though. The game looks really beautiful, so I'm looking forward to that. So, all right. So any last words for you guys? We had the Olympics close up. Team USA in soccer, Fubu. Yay, women's soccer, gold medal. Yes. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
My prediction was completely wrong, because before the Olympics started, we had someone in chat, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the name, and he was asking me who I thought was going to win in soccer the gold medal, and I said, I don't know, some sort of South American country, Argentina, Brazil, something like that. I was completely wrong. France won in the men's section, and the United States won in the feminine version. And I was really happy, because I don't want to be like, I don't sound catty, but I'm not the biggest fan of Brazil, because they think, like, just because they have one of the best players ever, they think they're the best ever. So they took down a notch. So they were taken down. So I was very, very happy for America to win the gold medal in football.
Yeah. So United States, obviously, tied with China for golds, but of course the medal count. United States on top. Yes,
exactly.
Good stuff. Yeah, the basketball. There was never any doubt that the United States was going to win the gold medal. But I have to admit that the world is catching up. The world is getting much better in basketball. France, gave the United States all it could handle. Serbia as well, with, Jokovic, or not Jokovic, I'm sorry, Jokovic. Joker, we call him. Plays for the Denver Nuggets. He's, probably one of the greatest players playing right now. So, a lot of competition. Still, we're the top.
You know who you have to say thank you to? for winning the gold medal. It's the guy that won the 100 the gold in 100 meters, Noah Lyles. He's like Nick Fury. He when he said world champions of what, he offended the full NBA community.
Hey,
and
200 meters, the 200 meters, he came in third and he collapsed because he had COVID. Yeah, he's like, he had COVID. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, but what I'm saying, like last year when he was saying, oh, world champions of what, when the Nuggets won the NBA.
Yeah.
And everyone was so offended. And like all of them, the best ones, united, like Curry, LeBron, well, those are the ones that I know. I don't know anyone else because I don't follow basket. But he made the
Jordan. You didn't mention the best, Jordan.
I know.
23 is number one.
1992
Dream Team.
Yeah. Everyone knows. Everyone knows Jordan. He was I think he's the top game.
Hey Burley, what did you think of Tom Cruise? Parachuting in, and then of course him on the Hollywood sign at the end there to bring in the 2028 Los Angeles games.
That was beautiful. I love
that was good. And he's
sweet.
Also getting you hyped for the next Mission Possible.
Part 2, which should be coming, but it's not going to come till probably sometime next year. Yeah, but unfortunately,
that guy is crazy. Just
62 years old. 62, man.
I don't know. I was telling that to my dad. I was like, you see, he's the same age as you. And my dad, yeah, I know. He's rappelling down the stadium. You're laying it on the couch. Go do something. And he looked at me. I broke my leg, man. Leave me alone. I'm like, okay, that's true.
Yeah. And then, some of the sports that will not be coming back. We're getting breakdancing, but we're getting. I think in LA we're getting softball and baseball back.
Esports. I heard esports.
Esports is going to be something, but yeah, the breakdancing. What was it? That Australian breakdancer girl that's all over social media now and stuff. Yeah, it's like
X-Pac.
That was interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what's my objective in the next 4 years? Because esports is going to be in the Olympics. I'm going to represent Portugal in the EAFC 20-something out of the 29.
Kill Burley and I now. Jesus. He talks enough on the show. We get it. Yeah. That's.
Well, I'm on the Mario Kart team for Team Canada.
Awesome.
We're going to win gold.
Yeah.
Until we face the Japanese team that schools us in 8.2 seconds.
Hey, Japan did really well. At this Olympics, so they did really, really well. So, of course, the judo is like one of the biggest events out. For the Japanese. And there was one girl, I forget her name, but she won the silver medal, but she. And I think it was her brother that won the gold in on the men's side in his, weight class. But she was just on the floor just for 20 minutes sobbing and crying, because she lost, and didn't win the gold, that was pretty big out here. But the Japanese, they did really well. I think they came in, 5th overall, in medals. I don't remember. I don't have the medal list in front of me, but did really well. But the United States number one.
Really well. More important, the United States number one.
United States number one, of course. U.S. baby, yeah, that's right. Yeah, what 130 medals or something like that. Something like that. Yeah.
Biles is a monster, man. The way she does those acrobatics, she's amazing.
Oh yeah. She's the GOAT when it comes to gymnastics. Simone Biles, she's amazing. So, all right, so that's going to do it for this week. So before we finish, of course, our indie recording artist spotlight. So each and every week we do an indie recording artist, spotlight and highlight that indie recording artist and their music to promote their music here on the show with a outro with a game that's coming up. So this week's spotlight is on Alex Grawl. So specializing in music for videos, Alex Grawl creates unique sounds that bring together an eclectic mix of genres and inspirations, from rock and blues rock to hip-hop and future bass. So from his album titled Triumph of Light, and the song is called Good Fight. So this has been The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, episode 182. I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burley Burleman Gaming and Fubu87. We hope to catch you next week, and obviously next week we're going to have a lot of Gamescom coverage, so stay tuned for that. And please be sure to check out all of our other content here on The Arena Productions, and check out our shows in audio format over on Spotify, The Arena Productions Spotify as well. So thank you so much, and have a great week of gaming, and enjoy the outro, everyone. And have a great week. Peace.